Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to day 14 as well as day 1 of the following week. This is the final sleep session for the Entei Research. I was unable to record this live, unfortunately, so there is a recording here. It is pretty dense, though. It's compact, and so overall, there is a decent chunk of content in this video. If you were interested in my final day during the Entei Research, I was able to claim an Entei. We'll have to see how that turned out. And throughout the video, I'll also update the widget so that we have some live data for whatever the Pokemon is doing. So essentially, I started my final session during the daytime of Sunday. So right after noon, I started the final session. That messed up my sleep consistency, but I figured it was more important for me to use the ZZZ ticket to get that area bonus into Lapis Lakeside, which is where I am currently. And essentially what I did, so after noon, I started the final session, which means no drowsy past that would contribute to anything. So essentially I just put on a whole bunch of Dream Shard magnet Pokemon because literally nothing else mattered. I could potentially have just used some ingredient Pokemon, but for the most part, I was just a little bit curious to test out some of the Dream Magnet Pokemon. And so here is the final session of the Entei Research, day 14. I think I had some issues with the sleep reports, so we'll just have to see how far I was able to make it. And so I'm super curious to hear from you guys if you found any good Entei. I had the same luck as Raikou. I can't believe it. There were two significant things that happened the exact same during the Raikou event and the Entei event, and I still can't get over it. If somehow this repeats during Suicune, I call BS on it because it's too much of a coincidence at this point. And so we'll get to it real soon. So essentially what happened here is I ended the sleep session. I connected to the device. And at that point, everything's set and good. You can have that unreviewed report for as long as you want. And so I then decided to switch areas. You can't see it, but this is late at night for me. And so I really had to just switch the islands and then make the video the day after, which didn't happen. So here we are. So I recorded the session in the morning, and you know what? I think we should just hop to the chase. Essentially, I put on a Bulbasaur incense. I cook a meal. That meal didn't really do much. And so we can hop into the next recording here. And so this is then Monday morning. I had some funniness with the Go++, but yeah, I managed to have a skill issue with my sleep tracking on Sunday. So I got a 92 sleep score instead of 100. So I was able to do a nap session on Lapis. Obviously, that's not needed to transfer the area bonus, and it was also not wanted. It was just I happened to end the session too shortly. I tried to cheese it with the snoozing, tapping for a few hours. It must have been that which messed me up, because you can see here, well, that is the nap session. I don't understand exactly what's going on here, to be honest with you. Let's see. Yeah, okay, so this is the main session, obviously, because that's what comes first in the order. I was just unsure if I had tapped the videos in the right order. So you can see my drowsy power was 330 million, and the requirement for Entei 3 star is 240. And I get the 1 star. Again! This happened the exact same with my Raikou. I was so excited. I had made it way past the DPR, the drowsy power requirement, and then it's just up to luck. So I had really bad luck. I got a 1 star from 330 mil. And so I felt pretty scammed, but maybe in the future, I have an extra Entei incense. Maybe in the future, when we have some crazy good sleep day event, I can just slap on the Entei incense and cross my fingers, and hopefully I'll find the 3-star. I have the same setup for the Raikou, but one thought that crossed my mind the other day. Wait, it froze? Hang on a second. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see if this one works. Yeah, I had... Oh, it's actually not the video. It was literally the app that froze. Okay, so one thing that I noticed is, naturally, the legendary incense gives a lot of dream shards. I am wondering if the perfect placement for the use of those would be a potential December Dream Shard event where that is boosted. Because then you could have an extra Suicune, you could have an extra Raikou, you can have an extra Entei. Maybe there is some legendary event with the 1-year anniversary. If that's not the Suicune event, maybe some Halloween action. We'll just have to see. It seems, at the very least, with the legendary dogs, that there's something happening once every 2 to 3 months. And so that could be interesting. Maybe around Halloween there's a legendary event, and then maybe for Christmas, something like that. And yeah, you can see me just wailing it real hard with these biscuits. I completely changed my strategy now that legendary events is a thing in terms of the sleep points. I am getting the Master Biscuit, the sub-skill seed, and the main skill seed, but in the opposite order. Main skill seed, sub-skill seed, and the biscuit. And then if you add up all the sleep points that it requires compared to what you have access to each month, you are then at a net plus. So at this point in time, those are the only 3 items that I am claiming, and I'm just looking to build a fat bag of sleep points, and then maybe sometime in the future it can pay off somehow. So right now my wallet's burning a little bit, but thankfully you guys are watching these videos like mad, so that helps a little bit. All right, I caught a lot of Pokemon in this session, one of which is the Entei. And I have already talked about my first curse during the legendary events, which is having an insane drowsy and then getting the 1-star on the final day. All right, and then we'll soon see my other curse, which I don't remember if it's this in specific, but yeah, so this spiel is not it. No berry finding, ingredients up nature, horrible. It is nice with the double speed early on, but for the most part, you want the ingredients down, you want berry finding, maybe a helping bonus. So here it is, Entei. It's careful. Yeah, this is not the one I was thinking about, but essentially, yeah, so skill level up S, inventory, main skill chance up nature. It's not bad, but actually base Entei is stronger. And at that point, you just use base Entei. My curse is Entei and Raikou, the 2 Pokemon that I have that are the strongest, with one, like, footnote is they are both naive natures. And that is really, really bad for skill specialist. That is main skill chance down, EXP gains up. The EXP gains up is interesting, and if they somehow in the future will introduce mints, I am curious to see how that could play out, because then obviously the EXP gains up will give me less candy spend, but I can then mint it later to get a main skill chance up nature, potentially, hypothetically, if it even is a feature. And that would be a little bit weird. Pokemon Sleep overall has a lot of randomness to it, and so I would think they could potentially make 5 different types of mints, where the mint has the color of the stat that it boosts, and then the hindering stat is random, to where you can get a main skill chance mint, and you can get a speed of help mint, but you don't know what it hinders. And at that point, you can have a little bit of a random roll on it. while spending a lot of resources, because something like that would be incredibly costly, like maybe 10,000 sleep points. I would do that in a heartbeat. And yeah, so I don't know, something to think about. So essentially, I got a nap session on Lapis Lakeside, and that is what you are watching right now. I got a hungry Psyduck, and I am on the hunt for Bulbasaur. I haven't really done the breakdown that Brovinnie did on his YouTube channel the other day. Highly recommend it. He went through Piggy's save file as a free-to-play player and just deducted down which Pokemon that would be the most valuable for her to hunt. And then he did the same for his account. And naturally, he's a whale at times. So that was an interesting experience to watch as well. And so I was thinking at some point, I'll probably piece together a video like that. I will have to do some preparations in order to make a good video. So I'll probably try to piece that together this week. That could be interesting. For this week, though, I'm mostly interested in finding a Stuffle. I am doing really, really poorly every time there's some sort of greengrass corn requirement. For most other ingredients, I don't have an issue. I would like to have a Delibird, but at this point I have two very strong mono egg Altaria, and Altaria has a very high ingredient rate, even the adamant one, and so quite a few of the dishes require just like 4 or 10 eggs per dish, and so even as a berry specialist, that should go just fine. So yeah, I kind of highlighted the video here, didn't really talk much about the Pokemon, none of them were interesting. That Golduck kind of meh. It had helping bonus and speed, but if I am to invest in a Golduck, I'm going to go all in. I want as many skill triggers as possible, and then I can just tap my phone every 5 minutes. And preferably, I would like apples in the second slot. And so we are actually getting pretty close to today's video, which is the interesting part, actually. So yeah, this is not particularly interesting. I made it to the new island. I got salads, so essentially my team now at Topalo, Lapis, my bad, is just cooking salads. And then I did something a little bit unexpected, probably not strategic or meta at all, but we'll see that in this overall video, in this recording as well, because my Lapis team is so bad that I kind of just went all in on the one Pokemon that I do have that kind of works. And sorted by berry specialists in my team setup, it turned out to be the strongest Pokemon that I have in my whole collection for Lapis, which is a little bit sad, but it is what it is. And so we'll see that too in this video. And so we've now had the main session, final session, for Entei Research, then we had a nap session, and then we had the sleep session here. Or was this also a nap? I actually don't remember. Let's see. Yeah, this was a nap session that I did sometime, I guess, yesterday. Yes. Okay. So what we got today then is the remaining section that was not a nap yesterday. Man, I'm thinking for the future, if I'm unable to record, what I'll probably do is just to catch the Pokemon, and then we can go in my Pokemon bag instead and just review them. Do it a little bit tidy like that, because these post voiceover videos is a little bit hard to navigate. They get a little bit messy. And for the most part, Pokemon Sleep is a long grind, so it's not often that you actually find something useful. So to an extent, this whole snack time is just see if it all gets full or if you find something interesting. So yeah, I essentially claimed both Slowpokes, and then I did the Chikorita, so we can hop right to the chase here. Wait, that was a little bit too far. There we go. Got the Chikorita. I would really like an incredible Meganium at some point. This one has berry finding, but it's modest, so it's like super let down. It's got helping bonus too, but it's so late. This is like This is like spitting me in the face. Like, you want the ingredient finding up, speed of help down? Well, you got the berry finding. You got the helping bonus. Oh man, I felt pretty scammed. All right, so here we go. Slowpoke, rash nature, really bad. Skill level up M is decent, but the main skill chance down on the skill specialist, you don't want to see it. And then the other Slowpoke was not a lot better. So the Slowpoke hunt continues. I will go over my water team in this video just to showcase it. I have a really strong water team, and that is the reason why I decided to go to Lapis this week. So yeah, this second Slowpoke, not particularly strong either. And if I have everything ready, then here we are. And all the technicals is working too, which is great. All right, so you see my Lucario. Let's talk about it. I have a berry finding, skill level up M, skill level up S, helping bonus, EXP gains up Lucario. It's helping speed down, but all things considered, it's pretty decent for a D tier Pokemon, don't you think? Even dumped 2 seeds into it. So yeah, this was my blunder, but I couldn't help myself. Lucario is awesome. Maybe we get some more balance changes in the future. I can feel better about it. So yeah, level 7 Dream Shard Magnet S, berry finding S, and once I get it to level 75 with that EXP gains up, and helping bonus, berry finding S, strong combo on most Pokemon. Yeah, so it's level 50. I blew like half my... No, I actually spent all my handy candy on it, because I was a little bit desperate to just get it to level 50, because let's have a look at this. So I have my main team, side team, help me pick, event, and bonus. This was a failed experiment. This one is going to go back to Altaria at some point. Not going to do that in this video. So essentially you can sort Pokemon. You're probably familiar with this feature, but I use it a lot because the Pokemon to the left side here is the strongest, and then it is ranked towards the right. So if I go by skill, you can see that Ampharos is my strongest skill specialist, and then Sylveon, and Flareon, Togekiss, and Lucario. That is how the game filters it. That may not be the case overall. Use cases vary, but here's what's interesting though. If I sort by berry, it's pretty straightforward. Which Pokemon does the most value in terms of berries? Fighting types are favored at Lapis Lakeside. It is the only Pokemon I have here that is favored. And I do have a decent Mankey. We should probably have a look at that too. But for the most part, I am not a huge fan of the Mankey. So here's the Lucario just to showcase it. 43 minutes, decently fast. 5.1% on the skill trigger rate, decent. It's just the main skill. Dream Shard Magnet S is not top tier, to say the least. So I wanted to showcase the Primeape. I am surprised that Primeape doesn't have its evolution. In Generation 9, it has an evolution which is Annihilape. It's a ghost type. Could be likely for Annihilape to make it during the Halloween event, especially if they somehow tie it in with an area that favors the Ghost Berry. That could be incredibly exciting, in which case you will see that the Primeape line gets a significant buff. Overall, the Cherry Berry is not very strong. 46 minutes is a little bit on the slow end, and 19% on the ingredient rate is decent for a berry specialist. So got a shiny Primeape. This does not do much. It's neutral nature, no speed, and a bunch of ingredients finding. So this is the current contestant for the Primeape spot. I'm thinking to continue hunting. Having just berry finding S is a very strong sub skill. There is some speed coming in at level 75, but that is too late in my opinion. Although the EXP gains up can be a good thing on the Berry Specialist. I know that that is not a common view. Most people would prefer helping speed. Though I think with the EXP curve past level 50, it is so insane that for the Pokemon that you really want to have long term, that are Berry Specialist, I think EXP gains up could be the play. But yeah, either way, if you find like Berry Finding S or a sub skill that is up speed, then you don't really care too much about the nature at that point because you got pretty lucky. So that was the Primeape, and I showcased my Lucario. All right, so we have my water type team, and then we'll hop into the actual session, the sleep report for today, which is live and not a recording. So I have my Sylveon, not looking to reinvest in a Gardevoir anytime soon, just because I have Skill Trigger S coming at level 75, and at that point I have the main skill chance up Nature, both of the sub skills, both of the speeds, and had that skill level up M been helping bonus, like flawless, but I'll take it. Probably one of the best Sylveon you ever seen, and probably one of the best that I'll ever seen too. Yeah, so the sunk cost investment here essentially is so large that I don't think it's going to be worth it to reinvest in a Gardevoir for me anytime soon. It could be cool for Lapis if I somehow can find a Berry Finding, helping bonus Gardevoir, then I can tag team the Sylveon and the Gardevoir maybe, but I don't know. Water types. This for Alligator is surprisingly strong. Here you can see we have that factor that I was talking about. You have ingredients down, which is good for Berry Specialist. Then you have EXP gains up. So this is way easy to gain more levels on. And not only does the Pokemon get faster when you level it up, but the berry value, which is the main productivity on these Pokemon, goes up by each level. So having that EXP gains up, I think, is going to be a huge factor. Like getting a Pokemon from level 50 to 75. I want to do some numbers at some point to compare like how long does it take to level a Pokemon up from level 1 to 50 compared to 50 to 55. It could be the case that you have to like comparatively level up to level 50 like 7 times to get to 75, for example, and you can just picture the volume of candies and resources. And at that point, I'll take the XP gains when I can get it. So double speed 2, obviously no berry finding, but I'm thinking overall it could be a strong for Alligator at level 50 with that skill level up S as well. For Alligator, it has a decent skill rate as a charge strength S Pokemon, and it is decently fast. So even though it's not berry finding, it's by no means weak. So yeah, have a good for Alligator here. Then I have my milk toys. This is incredible. The only thing that could potentially be better is the cacao at level 60. I'm not too worried about it. It's going to take me a long time to get this up to level 60. Currently got 400 candy, so that'll make it up towards like 45, something like that. Yeah, not even that. 42. And so for the most part, I am looking to get this to level 50. Sub-skill C, that helping speed. And then I got Ingredient Finder M. Skill up, speed up Nature. And the helping bonus. And it's just a Milk Toys. Then I have a surprisingly strong Slowbro, which is a little bit of an oxymoron. I don't think Slowbro is a good Pokemon overall. Though with the potential buffs of water types during Water Week, then this Slowbro could put in some work, especially if I get Dessert Week with milk, cacao. And yeah, so to an extent, I think this is what you would want in a Slowbro, and I was super lucky. I got this Slowpoke that I just, because I wanted to, evolved it into Slowbro, and it was because, or it was before the balance adjustment. So by chance, this one has double tails, which you want on either Slowking and Slowbro, but it has ingredients up and is very speed focused. So you can see that if I level it up to level 50 and then use 3 subskill seeds, which is like way expensive to use on a Slowbro, but you know, long term, then maybe this is the good way to go, because you kind of want to balance the ingredient finding for the tails, the speed because it's slow, and skill triggers because it's a skill specialist. Yeah, I don't know. It's a decent Pokemon. I'll use it for the water event / Suicune. It may be switched out for Suicune specifically at some point, but we'll just have to see how it does. If there is some week 2 stuff with the +3 main skill level again, then this is going to put in some work with the healing even, so that's going to be nice. Then somehow, during the Entei Research, I found this Totodile. And you can see it was a Totodile because the level 2 main skill, it has berry finding and helping bonus. Essentially how you can think about it is for berry specialists, berry finding is a 50% increase to its production, roughly. Obviously you see on the Feraligatr it has 25% ingredient rate, and so in sneaky snacking you can kind of just roughly think that, yeah, it gets 50% more productivity, though in reality it's not exactly 50, because for this one you maybe want to pop it off into trigger the skill at some point. That can be nice on the Feraligatr, but the helping bonus is another. It gives 5% speed increase to all 5 members, so in total it's kind of like a 25%. So roughly in my head, when I'm adding up the just buffs from these sub skills, it's 50 from berry finding and 25 on the helping bonus, and so you kind of have like a 75% stronger Pokemon compared to just completely neutral. So overall, lacking a little bit in resources here, but I think during Water Week I'll likely find a lot of candy. I think for the most part, Feraligatr, the Totodile candy will be what people are sending each other, so not too worried about it. And so, yeah, that is my current team setup. So if we have a look at my team this week, I'm running Diglett or Dugtrio for leeks. I am running Gengar for mushrooms and Tyranitar for ginger and beans. Those are the 4 ingredients for the Ninja Salad. And then I have Sylveon for healing, and I'm doing my Lucario. Oh man. Well, yeah, it's berry finding. Talked about this a lot in this video, but I think overall I couldn't help myself. So let's hop into the sleep session before it gets way late in here. I think so far it's triggered like 3 times today, so that's like 6,000 dream shards in the bank, so that's pretty good. The question is it worth your main skills? Seeds. So here is the live review. Never seen footage. Day 1, Lapis Lakeside, 25% area bonus. We got a looking like 75 or something. This must be dozing. It's balanced type. That's good for me. So my target specifically is Stuffle, Chikorita, and Bulbasaur. I don't care about the other Pokemon. I'm not hunting Dratini. My Gengar is going to do just fine, both in terms of mushrooms and herbs once I hit level 60, and especially once I hit 75. So not too worried about it. Long term, obviously, we'll be on the hunt for a mono herb Dratini. It's just not a priority currently. I'm also looking for that Delibird, so we'll just see if I hit my targets here on Lapis Lakeside, if I am able to go back to Snowdrop Tundra anytime soon, because for the most part my water prep is done already, so I'm not too worried about it. Hey, I would like a Vaporeon too. Vaporeon is very strong if you invest it to the max, and that could be nice for Water Week, but also not too rushed about it. I have a decent amount of ingredient Pokemon that are specialized, so to an extent that mixed bag from the Vaporeon is not too important. There's the Stuffle. Wow, got a lot of great Pokemon today. Stuffle, target. Chikorita, target. Eevee, kind of target. The only one not here is Bulbasaur, and I got that in my nap session. So good start of the week. I do have a good camp ticket. I think while I'm making these videos, I'll have to just put up a good camp ticket. It makes the videos more interesting, and overall, I would say 500 diamonds. Oh, it froze again. That's a problem. All right, everyone. Just give me a second. I don't know why it does this. It's super annoying. Oh, man. This is a little bit risky, but let's see what happens. Because I closed the app and it continued to play the music. Thank you, technology. Knock on wood. Now we just need to hear the music. Is it still there? Yes. All right. There we go. Chikorita, hungry, let's go. Okay, we got the Chikorita in the box, not playing any games. It's gonna bring it home. And then we have the Stuffle. Not gonna play any games with that either, but not gonna waste biscuits, so we have Meganium as the first review here. And we have the Stuffle. Gonna give it 2 Poke Biscuits. And then, if it's still hungry, I'll give it a Grey Biscuit. Some of these Pokemon like to get full a little too early, but let's see it, everyone. Yes, let's go. So the Beware is a very strong corn farmer. I'm looking for triple corn and 2 boosts to its ingredient finding. That be preferably the nature and ingredient finding M. Although that is a high bar because the triple corn is 1 in 9, and then the nature is 1 in 5 or something like that. Did the math a little bit of time ago. I've forgotten it. And then I don't really know how the sub skills are rolled, but I can't imagine that they would be strongly in my favor either. Whoa, managed to hit all 3 targets today. That is amazing. So crossing my fingers that we'll find something that is interesting now that we had like 3 separate days and it was just nothing. Entei, nothing. So yeah, not gonna hunt more Togepi. I have 2 very strong Togekiss candidates. And then the best candy here, for sure, is the Meganium. Potentially Stuffle, but I think overall Meganium is a very strong, very specialist, and particularly at Lapis Lakeside, and a lot of people are having some issues at Lapis Lakeside, so that is my thoughts on that. Let's see it here with the Rash nature. That is unfortunate. That is the main skill chance down, ingredients up nature. Not what you want in a berry specialist. Triple Cacao though. Dream Shard bonus. Skill trigger. Helping bonus. Speed. Yeah, this is not it. You want something else for the nature. And the helping bonus a little bit earlier. Triple Cacao was kind of cool though. That's a 1 in 9. Next Pokemon is the Stuffle. Gentle nature is neutral, unfortunately. I think anyway. Double corn. Not a fan of the sausage at the end there. It's just gonna clog up the inventory. Those are some really, really strong stats. I don't need main skill chance up though. That is just not useful on a Beware. You can see the skill rate is 1.3. But oh man, look at this. 1 skill. 1 sub-skill seed at level 30. This is going to be pumping. It's just once it hits level 60, it sucks. I'm going to start it. It's definitely a short-term potential for sure. Even level 30, this could do damage on the corn if I ever need it. So I'll just have to keep it in the bag and continue hunting. I really do subscribe to that mono ingredient meta. So relaxed nature, I don't remember this one. Let's see it, everyone. I'm looking for helping bonus, berry finding, skill trigger M with a skill up nature. I know that is a ridiculous standard, but I might as well. Oh man, both of the troll skills. Energy recovery bonus, dream shard bonus, ingredient finder. The skill trigger comes in a little bit late, but I'll take it. None of them particularly interesting, aside from that level 30 cap Stuffle with a need of a sub-skill seed. So we'll have to think about that a little bit. And let's see. 180 electric types. I hit an achievement down here yesterday that was pretty interesting. It was the level ups. I got a main skill seed from hitting 10 Pokemon at level 50. So that is pretty strong. And at that point, I hope that you've enjoyed this video. I know that it was a long one. There have been a couple of these recently. It's just how it goes with the schedule and everything. So hopefully you guys had a good Entei research. I am thinking that the next couple of weeks will probably be a little bit more slow. I hope that there won't be too many events until Suicune. It would be nice to just cruise and have a little bit of a chill time for a couple weeks, and then maybe Water Week Suicune happens sometime July. Okay, the technology here is telling me to log off, so you can leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and if you are a passionate Pokemon fan and are particularly interested in Pokemon Sleep or even the main series games, I can highly recommend you to become a YouTube member of the channel and join the nirtheart Discord. It's a community for people who are, one, passionate about Pokemon, and second, have a strong stance against cheating. Thankfully, it's not a problem in Pokemon Sleep. It is a real problem in the main series, which is why there is a paywall, an entry fee to get in. But overall, everyone who makes it through is very happy that they did decide to join. So that is my suggestion, recommendation, advertisement to join my Discord at the end here if you're interested in also supporting the content. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys hopefully tomorrow and we can get back to the daily videos. See you soon.